guys and gals, welcome back to my layout. For those that don't know, my layout is in the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes region, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, a little bit of Lake Huron, and all the land masses that touched them. For storytelling purposes, this takes place in the era of 1945 to 1956. That's when my grandparents were in their late teen to young adult, and the viewpoint of almost all the modules will be from a family ancestors during that time frame. Many of them worked in these different industries that I will be presenting on the layout. The landscape will have urban, suburban, and rural, so we'll have a vast landscape to look at. We'll also have passenger and freight rail, and we'll encompass 3 seasons because we are doing an L-shaped layout, and we're going to have backdrops or backboards on almost all the straight modules that will basically section off the availability to have 3 seasons of late summer, fall, and even early winter with some snow. We're also going to be doing water scenes, forest scenes, cliff scenes, farmlands, industrial, switch yards, and urban. And part of those water scenes will encompass harbors and other things for freight, where we can take commodities from inlet towns and move them into the harbor, and they can go onto barges and Great Lakes freighters. So I went to a maritime museum to get some prototypical pictures of vessels during that time frame, so then I could create them into a 3D CAD program and 3D print them, because we really didn't have those scenes or those objects available at hobby shops. So I did a lot of 3D printing over the last 6 weeks, and I want to share those with you. I also picked up some things from hardware stores and hobby shops to also put into this new layout, so I wish to share those with you as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This animated sign for my urban area, unfortunately it arrived damaged. The whole sign is supposed to light up, and the area where the 2 girls are doesn't light up at all, even though I went through all the different chase patterns. I contacted the manufacturer, told them what happened, showed them the video of it, and they told me to return it and then buy a new one. Unfortunately, it was a limited edition, and there were no more available at the time of the return object. So instead, I picked up a different item from the hobby shop. So for right now, I'm not going to have the animated billboard as I first thought I was going to have. And it took about 6 weeks to iron the whole thing out and just get a credit. Well, it's actually a lot easier to wire this up. So let's open it up. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. Let's see what's inside here. So it looks like we start off with a quick start guide. That's the little controller. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Here, it looks like we're gonna get a cable. So yeah, it does run with a cord cable. Okay. Oops, it looks like it got moved around. It got jostled around inside the like that should have been in there, but you see that it got moved around. We got a control knob sitting out here. I think it's supposed to come with 2 control knobs, but I only see 1. So let's hope that there is another one. Okay. There should be a secondary controller knob, but I am not seeing it. So let's hope that it comes in here. Okay, that's the size of the unit. So you can see here, you have this controller knob we'll put on in a second. And then you have these special knobs here. And here and here. These are your special ones. You got side ones, these sides, that side. You're gonna have this. Yeah, that looks awesome. So there is it plugs into the back for our power. There's some screws. There is our board. That's where we put our track power. These are the LCC controllers. These are the rear ones. That's the front one, and that's the main bus control right there. As you can see with this faceplate, we have AC adapter. What are we looking at? Guys and gals, I got it, the control knob on there now. It's really easy to put on. But as you can see, one-handed, you could operate the train here. So that there is their single. As you can see, it has sort of a wheel that goes up or down on both sides. Wheel up or down. And so this allows you to do that yard mode thing where you can control the train using these dots. Either that one, or that one. And then you can also operate the speed of it. And you could do it all really in one hand. I was looking to pick up some more of this because I am going to be doing some more water scenes. I have a little bit of this left over from a past layout, but it's only half a bottle, so I know I'm going to need some more of it. I got a couple other things in here. I've been looking for some snow, and I saw that they had this all game terrain snow on sale for $3. So this little bag was $3, but this should be more than enough snow to do a couple little snow scenes. Yeah, it looks like plenty to do some things with. So I bought this white putty. This is basically to work with doing my 3D printed stuff. So when I have 3D printed objects that I have to glue together, sometimes there is like a seam or something. Well, I would put this on to fill in the seam. I've used this in the past. I love using this stuff. I've just had good success with it. I know there's people against Woodland Scenic, whatever. I like them. They're an American company, and I live in America, and I buy their stuff. So yeah, and it was like $10 for that. So what? I'm going to use it to help build my next layout. So I picked up this one here, spray grip. Really good for anything that you 3D print, almost any of the 3D printed stuff. So what's really cool about this is if you spray it with this ahead of time, before you use your acrylics, your acrylic paint sticks straight to it. I also picked up some spray adhesive. This is what I use for making the tree armatures. So if you spray this on your tree armatures, you can get that stuff on there really good. Just some loose foam brushes here. I think I got 4 of them. I think I got one 3-inch and a couple 2 inches. I just need a couple for doing, you know, the painting of the rocks and stuff. Unfortunately, the first car that I took out of here, which was the micro trains, the frickin' wheel came off of it. This is frustrating. This one here was the most expensive of the lot. Okay, this is going through my magnifying glass. I finally got the little wheel on there. That was the one right there. Putting it on right there, that was really hard to do, but I do have this really nice magnify glass here by Renobi. I put it on my lap on the chair. Well, I did fix the wheel that was broken there. I was just a little upset that it did break off, but it did go back in there. Hopefully it will stay in there. Unfortunately, they do not give you extra wheels anymore. They used to when I was a kid. You know, when you got the end scale, you got 2 extra couplers and 2 extra wheels in case they broke. You don't get anything with these cars anymore. That's the box car. Unfortunately, I had some box cars get ruined in a disaster that happened a couple years ago, so I have to replace quite a few of them. The 40-foot and 50-foot box cars are basically what I'm looking for my particular era. The 40-foots are really nice because you can get them pretty inexpensive. I also found a cover hopper that fits the era as well, so works really awesome. Here, I'm going to cut these out here out of this scrap piece, and we are going to use these scrap pieces as a way to do the little T-bolts with these, because I don't have enough of those other pieces that I showed you. I have some, but might as well use the scrap pieces, and by using those and gluing them in down there like that, they are going to fit. not bad. I mean, yeah, they got a little stair-stepping in them. But by the time we paint that up, put some figures in there. So this is your little control panel there. Hey guys and gals, so these are some of the vessels that I came up with. Some of them I got off of Thingiverse. This one here was an HL scale. I got off of Thingiverse. It looks very awesome. Yeah, really cool. I can't remember which one I got it from, but just look for boats on Thingiverse. This one came up really kind of cool. barge. We can probably use that one going down a river or something. This one here looks a lot like a Chris Craft type vessel. This is going to be a bigger Laker type vessel. This here looks goofy, but it's actually going to be a conveyor belt. There is more to it. There is like a little nurse section that I printed off that goes on top of this, and it gives you a better look than that. That's just like the base, so it can sit on top of it. And it's just sitting off to the side because this thing here, I'm going to do a scene where it's getting filled up. So this is like the area where it hauls, like, so whatever cargo it carries, it would be filled up here. So this one has multiple parts attached to it. I really think this particular tugboat came out the best. This one right here, it has this back thing. I kind of got that design off of a photograph from Google. So yeah, looks pretty awesome. My dad had a friend that had a tugboat that was very similar to this one, but his roof went all the way up to the back here. But yeah, we have a couple of those. I actually got an opportunity to do a photojournalistic essay in the Milwaukee Harbor when I was 19 and off of the tugboats. So I got to see a little bit how the harbor works. I also got to tour 2 Great Lakes freighters as well. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really like that barge, let me tell you. And some of these other vessels, now these were fishing vessels. These were supposed to have more things to attach to them. I just really printed these out for now for size comparison of just kind of seeing what kind of vessels I could build and how big they are and if they could fit in basically a small modular scene. And I think they can. I think these are going to work really good. So yeah, I'm really loving using the 3D printer and custom CAD because we really can use it to create anything to really help tell our story. And I think this is really going to help right here by putting in some vessels in a Great Lakes harbor or a river scene, and it's going to look awesome. Plan to have a future video on that DCC system, a full review of it, how it fully works and how I fully set it up. I did talk to TCS tech support. They were very helpful. I did have to pick up a few extra things to get it set up on my layout, so I can't wait for that stuff to arrive. I do live in a much smaller community than I did the last time I did my layout, so stuff takes a little bit longer to get here. So anytime there's a setback, it takes us a little bit longer to get it fixed. But we always have something to work on with this layout. I'm doing a lot of the custom scenery using that custom CAD and the 3D printer, or doing kit bashing or whatnot. I always have something to work on. So I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to have something new for you soon.